Hey, thanks for joining me on Pagosa Adventures. Well, today we are again talking to Dean Corrigal of Leisure Travel Van. And today we'll want to talk all about that new MBL floor plan, what the inside scoop on that is, as well as what's going on with Leisure Travel Vans. Also, that new Truma air conditioning. We get all of the scoop right here. Now then, before we jump over to Dean, I would invite you to subscribe. Also hit that thumbs up. We're always talking about Leisure Travel Vans, Airstreams, RVs, and everything in between. So again, hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's jump over and let's talk to Dean about this brand new floor plan. So exciting from Leisure Travel Vans. This episode of Pagosa Adventures is brought to you by Snap Pads. That's right, Snap Pads was the very first upgrade we did to our Leisure Travel Van, as well as to our Airstream Globetrotter. Now, Snap Pads are basically permanent jack pads for your RV stabilizer system or leveling system. Now then, if you're interested in checking out Snap Pads, I'll put the link down below, and you can save 10% using our code PAGOSA10. Snap Pads, we never leave home without them, neither should you. So here we are with Dean Corrigal again with Leisure Travel Vans. So Dean, we were talking just before we started to hit record that Canada is open for business again for tourism.
Back open for business, baby.
Yeah,
come visit us.
Yeah, definitely. I want to bring that. I want to bring my Leisure Travel Van up, hit Banff, and all of that great stuff. So congrats to all the people that can go to Canada now for sure. So
yes, finally our Prime Minister woke up.
Yeah, well, good. Well, hey, I wanted to jump on here with you because when I saw the release of the MBL, I mean, I was like blown away. I thought the engineering was spectacular. So obviously I want to talk a ton about that, about, how that came about, kind of, and what we can expect from even future. Is it going to be in the FX, all that good stuff and everything. So basically, what was the idea behind the MBL and just changing up probably your most popular floor plan?
Yep. So the MB was, our most popular floor plan. We brought that out in 2009 was when we first built the first one for Mr. Yoder, formerly, the boss at Jayco. He bought the very first one back in the day. By the way, it was all electric. People don't realize that. That one was the very first one. It was all electric way back then. It was kind of funny, but anyways, it wasn't really a practical motorhome back in the day because it just didn't have enough power, but he wanted it that way, and we built it for him that way. So that was kind of fun. And then we went into production with it, 2010 forward. So, 10, 12 years later, we're like, hey, that's our number one floor plan. We did a lot of surveying with our customers. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And we wanted to, give it a new lift, like 2.0 or whatever the new word is for it. But so we wanted to make it different, but similar because, like you said, it is our flagship. We were the first ones to build a Murphy bed, on that size of motorhome. And probably, I don't even think anybody even made a Murphy bed on any motorhome back in the day. Maybe some trailers had them, but, nobody had one in a Class A or a Class C or a Class B. So it was kind of exciting that we did that. And we gave it to the design team and said, listen, these are the three things that people that own Murphy beds that would love to see if it was a newer Murphy bed. Obviously the big landscape window was the big one, more light. They wanted a bigger galley, and the chairs were the beautiful, the Leisure Lounge Plus chairs that we have currently, patent on those. Those are the best, but they wanted, maybe something a little bit smaller, so it had, created more space inside the motorhome. That's one thing that I noticed about the motorhome. It seemed so much bigger, and I love the MB. I think the MB is the most perfect motorhome in the world. But the changes that we made just kind of made it feel bigger inside. So that was kind of great. And we're trying a few new things with the new Dometic, air conditioner and their furnace, and we always had the Truma Go Comfort Plus hot water heater. So. Trying a few different things in it to make sure that, it's going to work and before we go into full production throughout the entire line. So, and really good
and remind me, I do want to come back to that new Truma air conditioning because I think that's going to be an interesting thing. But I will say, I think the having the window in that Murphy bed is a game changer. That's the only thing I really don't like about my FX is the fact that there are no windows on that driver's side. So, I mean, that totally changed the game for that. So how long does a prototype, how long does it take from an idea? Okay, we're going to totally flip the MB on its head. Get down on paper, I'm sure, all the drawing CADs and everything, until you have a built prototype that you're making a video in. How long does that take?
It's probably like a 2-year project, from start to finish, from, dead start, starting the drawings, the design, doing the protos to, into production. So we're going to go into production in January. So we'll start to build them on the production line. So yeah, I would say it's a 2-year project.
So is it taking the place of the Murphy bed? So
I don't think it will, because the standard Murphy bed still has those beautiful leisure lounge plush chairs. So, which some people are going to love, that more of that lazy boy feel. Has a bigger bathroom. So, it'll be give and take. We'll see if everybody buys an MBL, then we'll get rid of the MB. But I don't know if it's going to happen exactly that way. I think
so. It's an added floor plan, not replacing a floor plan.
Currently, an added floor plan. Yeah. I know that production would like to see just one Murphy bed, but tough. I think last time I counted, I think we had 320 Murphy beds to build, somewhere in that range.
Yeah. So the MBL will be a 23-year model?
23 model year, yes. Yep.
Cool. And then, so what was the catalyst for making the change? I mean, because if you look at a leisure travel van, people copy you. You never copy people.
Right.
And so was it just like, hey, we have a 2-year waiting list. We could just just float down the river comfortably. So what was the catalyst for the change to add this in?
Yeah, great question. So it all more had to do with the Ford chassis, the Wonder. So we really wanted to get a slide out on the Ford chassis. That was kind of the biggest goal. Once we had done all the work on the Ford Wonder MBL, we're like, wow, this is pretty cool. Why don't we, do it also on the Unity? And we kind of argued about that, having, now we got 2 Murphy bed models. It seems like overkill, and including the FX, which is similar, but 3. But anyways, we just love the Ford MBL, or the Wonder MBL, sorry, on the Ford chassis. With that, we're like, hey, let's build it on a Unity as well. With the Ford chassis problems, thank goodness we did that, because it's just been tough getting Ford chassis. So now at least we'll be able to have the MBL out in the world, whereas we probably wouldn't have got it out very much, due to the Ford problems that they're having with their production. So luckily we did say, hey, let's also build it on a Unity platform. So yeah, it was kind of a little bit of luck.
So having a slide on the Wonder, was that always a weight issue with the previous chassis? Or
Absolutely, yeah. Correct. Another great question. So we only had 10,250 pound GVWR on the old diesel engine. Then when they went to the gas engine, it moved up to 11,000 pounds. So that was primary one, that once they had the heavier GVWR, we could then put a slide out on it. Yep.
Okay. So ducted air on this new Wonder MBL.
Yep.
So it seems with, the added weight, with the ducted air, I mean, what's really separating the Unity from the Wonder these days? Is it just your desire to have a Mercedes or a Ford?
Correct. Yeah, chassis. That's kind of long-term goal. We wanted to mirror the floor plans as much as we could, so that people could just decide, I want to go Mercedes or I want to go Ford. So we got the RL, Unity RL, Wonder RL, which are mirrored, and then we have now the MBL, which are mirrored. So we're slowly getting to, the floor plan, so that, the big problem that we've had in the last 3 years is, chassis supply. Either Mercedes-Benz couldn't get us chassis, or Ford now can't get us chassis. And, we don't want to shut our factory down. So if we have 2 different chassis options, at least, we can keep our people, working all the time, which is, our goal, every day, making sure that the factory's running for all of our staff, and of course, building motorhomes for all of our great customers that are patiently waiting.
Now, I noticed that Airstream just came out with a Ram ProMaster van. I mean, is that something y'all would maybe look at if you still have chassis issues?
I don't know how they came out with that, with the weight. I'd love to see what their cargo carrying capacity is, or their OCCC is. I mean, because when I looked at that Ram chassis, it was 9,900 pound GVWR. So, I mean, you're cutting some serious corners to kick out 2,000 pounds. Right, and still have carrying capacity.
Yeah.
We struggle with that. The way we build. I always tell people your two greatest strengths in life are also your two greatest weaknesses. So, leisure travel van, we're heavy, we're expensive.
Yeah.
Our greatest weakness is we're heavy and we're expensive. So, you know what I mean? Those are the two things, right? They kind of go together. So,
well, I think as people shop B plus, if you and people getting into the RV, they have no clue about OCCC and all of that stuff. But if you look at, say, a Tiffin Wayfarer versus a leisure travel van, I mean, it's not even close to how much more weight you can carry in a leisure.
I am truthfully, honestly shocked at almost any other manufacturer. I'm not ruling out anybody about their carrying capacity. I don't know how they get away with it. In Canada, we wouldn't get away with it. See, in Canada, we have CCC, cargo carrying capacity, labeled on each unit, which tells you how much stuff you can put in the motorhome. End of story. So if it's 600 pounds, it's 600 pounds. That's it. But in Canada, we include people, fuel, water, propane. Where in the U.S., you guys don't. So the OCC number looks a little better because it doesn't, it hasn't taken those things out. But, a smart customer like our customers, like they quickly calculate it out and go, I don't think I have any cargo carrying capacity left.
Yeah.
So it is a problem, no question.
Yeah, but I will say if you're watching this and you're contemplating another brand than Leisure Travel Van, definitely look at that OCC. You cannot carry as much stuff with the other brands as you can with a Leisure Travel Van. So you all always do a fantastic job on that. Now then, I have an FX. I wish I had a window. So was this new system coming to the FX?
I think that we'll probably have a really good hard look at it once we, like what we're doing here, and because that way we can mirror the build, right, which is better for production as well, right? Because if you're building the same box all the time, you're just building it better. So I think we're going to have a hard look at it. We did talk about it. We were down at the Hershey show and we said, hey, that this, people loved it. We want to make sure people liked it a little bit. There was, a couple negatives, not negatives, but just it's always give and take on a motorhome. So the bed is slightly smaller than your bed, right? So you're 68, 76 on the FX. And on the normal Murphy bed. And then on the MBL, we are 65 wide, 75 long. So you lose a few inches here and there.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, hey, I would definitely give that up for that window. When Janet saw the video, she said, I have to have that window. So
I have to admit, I was shocked when because I spent most of my time at the Hershey show staying with that unit, and I was in it quite a bit. And I have to admit, it did feel bigger inside. It was that natural light, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Now then, so I did notice I watched both the Wonder and the Unity videos, and the Wonder does have a different bed system. I mean, that is definitely one. It seems like, with the Unity, you do not have a table leg, so it's a different table system. Is that on purpose, or is it a design, or is it a weight issue, or why the different system in the Wonder versus the Unity?
We were kind of trying out both systems to see which one we like the most. And then we're going to decide when we go into production, which one we're going to go with. So it was kind of like people... I was shocked that they really liked the Wonder system, providing we give them the chairs that come up more like the Unity. But they actually like that table system better than the table system in the MBL. So we have to decide which one we want to go with. So we're playing with that. Like I said, those were our prototypes. So the production models will be slightly different. So yeah, kind of a hybrid between the two of them, I think, is the plan. But
I'm a fan of the no leg. I have long legs, so I'm a fan of the no leg. But also notice, I think in the Unity with that different table system, you don't have it's not a couch then, right?
Correct. And I like the couch idea too.
Yeah, I do too.
I kind of would like to see them hybrid the two of them together, because I think that would be the best. Because it's nice to have a couch once in a while, just if you want to kick back, the chaise lounge, and it's nice to have a couch.
Well, definitely. And if you travel with dogs like we do, our dogs take, that's why we have the FX. We have two couches, one for us, one for the dogs. And the dogs choose which one they get. So, it would be nice.
Which one do they take, by the way?
Well, they usually take the front one. They usually take the front one, They can see out the window and bark at people. So, anyway, it would be nice to have that couch for extra space, whether it be for a dog.
Yeah, they're working on that right now. We're going to try and hybrid the two.
That's good. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we got some good feedback at the show, because I think we ended up selling 6 at the show. Believe it or not, it was kind of like crazy. But
Yeah. So I noticed you had all of the floor plans at the show. And so, and then I got an email from our dealer, Vaught in Fort Worth, and they had 4 that you come look at. So, so people went 2 years without even being able to, without stepping foot in one and plunking down the money. So now are dealers going to have more models to be able to walk into?
We still got a pretty big order bank to build for customers, but we were like, man, we haven't done a show in really 2 years. We didn't do the Hershey show, or we didn't do the Florida Super Show, California show we hadn't done. And so, yeah, we were like, well, we got to get some show units out there. So some of the dealers, if they had some cancellations, they just held that unit and then put it in a show, which was kind of cool. So hopefully we can get back to doing some shows. I know we're working on that right now, getting for the Florida Super Show. There's a Pleasanton RV show in January in California, Portland RV show coming up, and a couple shows in Canada. We're doing the Toronto show next 2 weeks from now, and then we're going to be in where else? Quebec City for a show as well. So starting to do, show season's coming back. And Alberta shows are back now. They just sent out the word. So we got the Edmonton and the Calgary show coming up. So we're trying to get some units for those shows, so at least people can see them and touch them again. Even people that have them on order haven't really even seen them. It's been basically, I don't know. I don't know if it's, I would say maybe 30 to 50% of our customers bought during the pandemic and had never actually been in one. I know it sounds crazy, but
that is crazy. Well, but that is a testament to, and I always say this, I mean, you guys' marketing is amazing, your videos and everything. I think people can trust them, trust that it's a good product. And so, but the shows is a great way if you're contemplating one, either you've got one in order or you want to see one, the shows are a great way to do that. Also, the LTV rallies. People will open up their coaches at the LTV rallies and allow you to tour their coaches. And so you can find all this on leisurevans.com, right? You can find all the show dates and rally dates.
Yeah, leisure customers are incredible to open up their, their homes to strangers. I mean, they're so cool. They're just really good people. We have such a great customer base. I mean, it is so unbelievable. We could write a book on it, but nobody would believe it. You know what I mean? Like all the incredible customers that we have and all the things that they would never believe it. They go, no, that's not real.
Yeah, I will say it's real. Probably in the last month and a half, I've had 4 or 5 of the Dallas area owners stop by here at the office. And I got to see a 22 or 23 corner bed, which I'd never been in a corner bed model before. So I got to take a look at that. I got to see the new colors and everything. So I thought that was fantastic as well. So if you want to see one, definitely a rally or a show. So back to the Wonder. Now that you're doing more of the Wonder, got the weight and everything. I know clearance is an issue with levelers, but people ask me all the time, are Wonders going to ever have levelers? I know some people do it aftermarket, but
we're hopefully getting close. I know we've been working with Equalizer Systems for the last 18 months on this. We needed to move some tanks for them on certain floor plans, which we did. We told them that we needed 7 inches of ground clearance. They were at 5, and a lot of people were knocking their jacks off that had them. I mean, I don't know if they've come clean and said, yeah, I put jacks on it, but I keep knocking them off, which I wish they would say that. But we told them we needed 7 inches because we couldn't get them off the hoists here at our factory when we were working, on them, because we have a couple hoists. We couldn't get them off on the prototypes because they would get stuck on the hoist and damage the jack, which would then technically damage the frame, right? So we were our engineering department was very, very clear on this. We needed 7 inches of ground clearance. So apparently they're working on that, and they're very close to getting that done. I mean, obviously it's going to add some more weight to the motorhome, which negates your OCC or your cargo carrying capacity. People have to understand that. It's an 11,000 pound chassis, so I think the jacks probably are 200 pounds. So that's 200 pounds of stuff you're not taking.
Yeah. I mean,
it's give and take,
nice. They are nice, but I do respect the fact that you're not just kowtowing to, demand and putting them in there. Like I guarantee some RV brands are throwing stuff in there that literally should not be on there.
Yeah, I'll guarantee our company would never do that. There's no gray area. There's black, there's white. That's it. If it doesn't fit the weight or if it doesn't work, it's not going in the unit.
Well, I love it. We're at 2.5 years on my FX, and it has just held up. I mean, absolutely fantastic. And so the quality that you guys do is definitely something to consider if you're considering a Class B plus, small Class C. All right. So another question that I personally have had is, because I'm a Unity guy, I love the Unity. I think our next leisure travel van will be a Unity. But the engine is changing. That 4-cylinder is coming to the Mercedes. Have you had any experience with that? I know that the Mercedes engineers have kind of talked you guys through it, but have you had any hands-on experience with it?
I have not personally, but we had some guys do a ride and drive down in South Carolina there on the new chassis, and they loved it. They said it's got more horsepower, more foot-pounds of torque. We didn't know about the fuel economy because they didn't get to drive it that much. 9-speed transmission. Same GVWR, same towing capacity, so it should be good. I mean, I think Mercedes had to do something. I mean, I'm sure that people are aware that they got into it with the emissions. People in the U.S. they had to pay a big fine. I mean, I don't think they could just keep trying to hammer that 6-cylinder out there and go through all the regulations and all the testing and all the EPA was putting them through. So I think they just had to go to that 4-cylinder engine. They didn't have a gas engine that would fit in the chassis part. Like Ford did. I think Ford had the same problem. Ford just said, listen, we're not going to fight the EPA. We're getting rid of that diesel. We're going to go put in the EcoBoost engine in. Mercedes finally, bit the bullet and said, hey, we got to put a different engine in there. And they put the 4-cylinder in there, twin turbo. And I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, if it's going to give me better fuel economy and it's going to give me the same amount of, or more horsepower and more foot-pounds of torque, it should be good. It does just seem a little bit weird, right? Because we're saying 4-cylinder versus 6-cylinder, but these new motors, these 4-cylinder engines have more horsepower than my old 89 350 Corvette does.
Yeah.
So,
and it's getting 2 more speeds, right? Because mine's a 7-speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
9-speed.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be great. I mean, I don't think Mercedes-Benz is going to put something out in the market that's not going to be good, right? I mean, they are, they'd be stupid to.
Right. Well, I mean, they do have some history of building cars, so surely they know what
they run that 4-cylinder in Europe forever, right? So that's actually they don't sell the V6. People don't realize they don't sell the V6 anywhere other than North America. So Canada, US are the only place to get the 6-cylinder automatic transmission. Nobody else gets it anywhere in the world.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand when you go to Europe. We were just in the UK for a couple of weeks, and gas prices are high here. If you think they're high here, go over to the UK. It was $10 a gallon, and so. But those cars, forever, all of my rent cars get 70 miles a gallon.
Yeah,
and that's just unheard of here. And so I would imagine Sprinters over there have to be more fuel efficient, or people just could not afford to drive them.
Correct. Yeah, so and they also have licensing differences down. In Germany, like if you drive anything over, a certain weight limit, like 10,000 pound, your license is $5,000 or $6,000 a year. So that's why it has to be under that 9,900 pound GVWR. So yeah, Europe is quite a bit different than we are in North America.
So hopefully that fuel savings will come over here. I am so sick and tired of paying $5 diesel. It's unbelievable. So
yeah, I think diesel's the worst part of the fuel system, isn't it? Like the cheapest part to manufacture. We're getting it kind of bad, though, aren't we?
I know it's unbelievable. Now then, Carefree awnings gone forever. Gerard is the new awning.
Well, currently supply chain issues. We Carefree kind of left us, in some issues. I think in back November, just October, November, December, January, we're sitting here with 150, 200 units sitting here ready to ship with no awnings. So, purchasing we had to get a second awning, and, found the Gerard awning. They seem to be able to supply us, but if everybody switches over to Gerard, that could be a problem too, right? So,
well, Gerard are who the $500,000 Class A's use, Newmars, Tiffins, all of those guys, they use Gerard. So I'm assuming it's a great quality product. So
we liked it. We tested it. I think it was 2 years ago. We were testing it here. We tested it on prototypes and stuff. So we liked it. And just supply chain issues with some of the other manufacturers, kind of forced you to, change the way you think. You'd like to stay with one guy all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the supply chain issues have changed the manufacturing world.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to get into, the supply chains, is it getting better? I think some were waiting on toilets, some were waiting obviously on awnings.
Yeah, toilets are a big problem. Macerator toilets are a big problem. Yep. We're trying not to bug the purchasing guys because they're under some severe pressure. But I remember I finally went up there and said, seriously, boys, what's with this toilet thing? Give me something, right? And apparently the bowl, the China bowl that comes from Romania. And then from Romania to the U.S., and then where they assemble it, put the electronics on, and then they ship it to us from Thetford. So the China bowl actually comes from Romania. So talk about a global world, that we live in for parts and things.
Yeah, for sure. Romanian throne. So
Romanian throne. I like that.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's still a problem. Supply chain is still a problem. It's always something. I had heard that something about autogen start mechanisms are short now, or we had some cooktops problems because of the Dometic had a cooktop recall, so we didn't have any cooktops. Yeah, it's something different every day. Honestly, it's not one thing. It's just something different. Other than the toilet has been a big problem, but we're slowly getting that resolved. So.
Okay, so let's talk about appliance changes, because I did notice the induction cooktop in your video. Is that a consideration?
Yeah, we're looking at that. We would battery power. I know you put the Lithionics battery on yours, which is a good battery, right? No argument there. And you need that type of battery power to run an induction cooktop. Our biggest fear is dry camping is pretty popular, or because there's just not enough campsites. So if you're all electric and you're running induction, or you're running electric fridge and air conditioners electric, you're going to run out of power, and then your motorhome isn't working. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a gray area. But propane works, right? I can run that propane system for 14 days before you have to fill the tank back up. And I don't know how often you fill up your propane tank, right? But it's not a lot. And you
once in 2 years,
right? It's fully functional, and I like no problems for our customers when they're RVing. So we are having to look at it. There is one that's out in the market that's one gas, one induction. We kind of love that one. That hasn't got CSA approval yet, or UL approval, but it's a European model. We really like that system where we could have one of each, but we are playing with some different systems.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move over. Truma air conditioning system.
Yeah.
And so what prompted the change on that? Is it going to be less power? What's the reason for the change over to Dometic?
Yep. So Truma's got the 13.5 BTU air conditioner, no heat pump. So like I said, it's always give and take, right? You're going to give, you're going to take. It's just the way the RV world is. It runs. You can run it off of a 15 amp plug-in, which we really like. So basically it has soft start on it. Ran pretty good. We were running at Hershey. It was running a few degrees cooler than the 15,000 BTU air conditioner. Doors open, windows open, just so we have the same, little more money. It's an expensive little toy, but we like it a little quieter. So we would like to have maybe gone in 23 with it throughout the entire product line, except they couldn't supply. They didn't have enough. So
is this a new product for them?
They've had it out for a while in Europe. In Europe, it's been out for a while. They just got CSA approval, UL approval for North America, I think, either early this year or late last year. And I could be a little bit wrong on that, but they haven't had approval to ship it into, with the CSA approval, UL approval. So they finally got their approvals, and then we've been testing it. We had it out last year on a unit. We liked it and ran it the entire summer. I think the video we shot on the corner bed had it last year, 2022. and we liked it. And we were kind of hoping to maybe do it for 23 model year, but they couldn't supply. They had some supply chain issues as well. So I think they gave us enough to do it on the MBLs. So we're going to, we'll run that this year on all the MBLs. And then hopefully, next year we can make it a standard for everything across the board.
Yeah. Well, I absolutely love our Truma water heater in the Leisure. And I didn't realize how much I love it until we got the Airstream. So, we got an Airstream trailer this year as well.
Okay.
And it is garbage, the hot water heater.
Yeah.
So, the Truma is so much better. And so if there's that good on their water heater, then I'm assuming that air conditioner is going to be fantastic as well.
Yeah.
So,
and their furnace, we put the furnace in there too. That furnace as well, quieter, more. I actually didn't even know that your Truma. Just to give you an example, that Truma Aqua Plus hot water heater is 60,000 BTUs. I actually didn't even know that until the rep told me.
Jiminy.
That's some serious BTUs.
Yeah. I mean, that is one thing. If it's possible, I'm going to switch out the hot water heater in the Airstream for the one Leisure Travel Van has.
We also like Truma because they have service centers, in big metropolitan centers, Florida and a few other places. So, customers can get service if there's ever a problem. We like that. So they're a really good company. We enjoy working with them. We have a good working relationship with them. And, their stuff is expensive, but it's quite good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to go back, the new air conditioner is not going to have a heat bump. But, what I found is, because we do a ton of Colorado camping, and even we were just there, a few weeks ago, last week actually, got down to, 40s at night. And at that point, that's basically where you can use your heat pump.
Right.
But you don't really, don't need it. So, if it gets a little chilly, just click that, the furnace on. So I think not having a heat bump is actually going to be fine because it's already limited. So
that's good to hear, because that was our only concern is we're losing the heat pump. But if it's not an issue, then it's.
I think I've turned my heat pump on one time, and it would just we could have done without it. And so
it's loud too. The heat pump is a little bit loud when it's running.
Yeah.
So and the furnace, the new Truma furnace is pin quiet, so you wouldn't even hear it running. So I think it'll be good. I'm excited about it. I wish that they could have been able to supply us, this current year, but
well,
24 is just around the corner.
That's right.
I don't know what year it is.
So so you think you're going to start production on the MBL in January? So folks could possibly get some in 23.
I think we're going to try and build one for every dealer, and if they want to take it to a show, great. And if they don't want to give it to a retail customer, that's fabulous too. Because the more you get out there, the better it is. So that's kind of the plan. Should be. I know we were working on it yesterday, scheduling them. So
Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, that's definitely something that I'm considering doing is getting an MBL, because I mean
we're going to have one at the. I know we're going to have one at the Tampa Super Show. I don't know if you'll be there or not. That one, we're definitely going to have one there. We're trying to get one for the Pleasanton Show in California, which is in late January. So that one, we're hoping to get those two shows covered off.
When is that Tampa Super Show?
That would be around the 16th of January, off the top of my head, somewhere in there, that middle of the January.
Okay. Yep. Because then, so that'd be a great one for everybody to flock to if you definitely want to see a Leisure Travel Van in person.
Yeah, those are two big shows. Like Hershey, I think they draw 50,000 people, and I think Tampa's in that range. So
wow,
those are big shows. It was crazy busy at Hershey. I was, wasn't sure, because everybody's talking about doom and gloom in the economy, right? So you never know. But it was crazy busy.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see now with interest rates the way they are, if somebody were to finance, such an expensive, purchase. How that will affect, but being I'm assuming you'd be called a niche maker. I mean, you're not making
we are
20,000 of these, every month, like some of the big boys. But so I think you're always going to be fine. I think
the Leisure Show, I think, is the 18th to the 22nd. Just to
Yeah, and always you can
But
jump.
you know what, Brandon? One thing that I mean, nobody has all the money that you have, but one thing that a customer explained to me is there's two things in life, right? Time and money. Which one do you have the most of left?
Yeah, 100%.
Right. So
yeah, and that is something that if I mean, don't wait. You know,
right.
if I would not wait, and so glad that Jen and I have the opportunity to enjoy our leisure travel van, and it's really been even more than what we thought it would be.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
we absolutely love it. All right, is there anything else that you want to throw out about the new MBL, or anything we can expect in the future? You want to drop any anything that people?
I always get in trouble if I drop. I think I dropped something on you last time, and I got in trouble for it.
Uh-oh.
I think about the rally. Oh yeah, that's right. And everybody was jumping on me, so I have to be careful what I say. But no, it's a tough one on that MBL, honestly, because MB was kind of the flagship. I remember when we set up the territory in 2010. I think I was in it for 3 months, so it was always my favorite just to be in it because I was just so used to it. I traveled all down Canada and the West Coast and Arizona, showing it to all these new dealers. And so but when I sat in that in Hershey, I was like, wow, it feels like a totally different motorhome. And that's why I think we're going to keep both of them, because some people are going to love the MB, right? They're going to love the Leisure Lounge Plus chairs. Yeah. They're going to like the bigger bathroom, the slightly bigger bed, so there's going to be, it feels like two different motorhomes. Yeah, I think when you see it, I think you'll be able to give a really good analogy on it, or a good, review on it, because, you have an FX, so which is got the big bed and stuff. So I think you're going to like it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I can say when the bed's down in the FX and those windows are exposed, it does feel like it's a bigger unit. And so I would imagine that is going to be an extremely popular floor plan.
And just some exciting things with the new chassis, which we touched on from Mercedes. So there's lots of things happening. And of course, as we get closer to electric, I'm surprised you didn't ask me about the electric chassis, but I think that's still a ways away, because, I think you have to have, would you not agree? You need at least 500 miles range.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't even. I mean, if you're watching the people now that are trying to tow with the F-150 Lightning, and I mean, it's just not there. I mean, I drive a Tesla, and it is. I mean, I don't take it on long road trips, even though it's pretty easy to stop and charge up. But right. I don't. I take a fossil fueled vehicle for road trips, and so I don't even have any inclination that that's going to be a thing for a while.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, no, I agree, but that's always questions we get. We get a lot of those emails, when are you going to be all electric? I said, well, especially here in Canada, like we can go 500 miles and not see anything. There better be a charging station somewhere.
Yeah, no kidding. That would be not a fun RV trip to me. I like having a fueling opportunity every moment I can get.
Yeah, and plus speed of fueling too, right? I mean, we can fill up and be gone in 10 minutes max, right? I mean, you're not sitting there for 2.5 hours recharging.
Yeah. And you know what? Speaking of speed of fueling, I'm just going to throw this out there, because I discovered this about a year into leisure travel van ownership, which is I only fuel up at truck stops now, because it takes literally 5 seconds. Those big nozzles that fill up the semis, and don't be afraid. You can jump in there. I mean, you've got a large vehicle. Jump in there and fill up at the truck stops. It literally takes. I mean, you do it, and then you're done.
That's a great point.
So don't be afraid to jump into a truck stop and use those big. And plus, you can put the def in right there. Not to deal with the boxes, and so that's a little pro tip right there. So
that is a good pro tip. That's a good one.
Yeah. So anyway. Well, all right, Dean. That's all I've got. I mean, I think you answered all of my questions.
Hopefully you can get to see it. Get it out there. I know that that Vaught was doing a show. I think, is it this weekend or next weekend? I think they were.
I think it's either last or this or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we were hoping to get the unit. We were thinking about sending it from Hershey down to there, but the only problem is design guys wanted it back because we had a few things we weren't working on it. So we wanted to redesign a few things and work on it. So anyway, we couldn't get it down there, but Florida Super Show for sure, it'll be there. And we got, I think from what from what I heard, we're going to have at least 10 units at the show. So that'll be pretty exciting for people to see, because honestly, it's been like 2 years since we've really been at some big shows. So it'll be nice to see customers again and, get some feedback. We had a rally this year, which was great. It was good to do a rally again. That was so much fun.
I know. I really am sad. I missed that. And
I know you were tied up, but
that was our annual little family reunion thing. So I couldn't skip that. So
beautiful.
But I'm assuming there'll be another one next year.
There will be another one next year, and we may even do I'll give you a little tip. We may even do an offsite one again. Oh, I'm going to be in trouble for that one. Yes, I will. We enjoy seeing our customers. We love our leisure customers. I mean, it's fun. I mean, that's where you learn so much, right? We learn it from you. We learn it from all of our customers. Yanking on us saying, hey, you got to look at this. Hey, you got to try this. This is a good idea, right? That's where you learn it from. You learn it from the people that use your product.
Absolutely. And plus, and join, even if it's not the your sponsored rally, join a travel club. We oddly enough, I've never been to our Texas, Oklahoma travel club. I go to the Florida travel club, and we're going against the Flamingos rally in Key West, and so nice. And my heart goes out to all of those Floridians. I'm hoping everybody came out okay with that. But we're going to the Key West rally. That's going to be in the first week of November. Yep. And so jump on leisurevan's.com and click on that rally. You can join I think I even did a blog post on Leisure Van's website about it. It was really, really enjoyable, and especially getting to people who have owned leisure vans for, you saw some 14-year models and some people who've been doing it for, almost a decade now in leisure vans.
You learn lots.
And you learn so much and just meet people that's, like-minded. So it's great. But hopefully I can come to your sponsored one next year.
Yes. We have to have you up here. Yeah, and you do a great job with all your blogs and all your videos. You do a great job. You really help inform people, and I like it how you're always neutral about it, right? You're always, I hate when people have some bias, right, and they're trying to promote something, right? That's different than, this is good, this isn't good. I think that people have to understand there's good and there's bad, or there's, give and take, right? That's basically what it is, right? So.
Yeah, well, and I definitely have a new, owning the Airstream as well. Yeah, I do have a whole nother thought process. And again, every time we are in the Airstream, Jen and I say, man, leisure just does things so much better. And Airstream's obviously an iconic 90-year-old brand. Yeah. And, the funny thing is they're 90 years old and you have to buy a little piece so you don't lock yourself out that you have to install on the door. I don't know if you've ever heard of that about Airstreams. I
heard about that. I didn't understand it at all, but
and that's such an easy fix, and they never have fixed it. But if you slam the door, the lock can jar and lock you out. Across. And so you buy this little piece that you put some tape on, and so it stops it from doing that.
Oh, so nice.
But so owning the Airstream alongside the leisure travel van, I had a whole brand new appreciation for you guys. And so, but fortunately, Vought, you mentioned Vought, I bought my leisure from Vought. They also own the Airstream DFW, which if you're looking for a dealer, they're a great dealer as well. Yeah. And they do a good job on both. So anyway, well, that's all I got, Dean.
Well, that's great. You're looking good.
Well, thanks. Good. You are too. I'm assuming you're glad to be getting out and one of the shows
and back on the road. Yeah, it is fun. I miss the customers. You miss that. Miss the dealers. Miss the customers.
Yeah. Well, I saw 1,000 pictures of people posing with you on Facebook.
Yeah, so it was crazy. Honestly, at the Hershey show, I thought I was like a celebrity. People wanted their pictures with me. It was crazy. I was like, this is crazy. It was funny.
YouTube can do that for you. Make you a star. So you're the star of Leisure Travel Man.
Yeah, I guess so.
You guys do a fantastic job. But
thank you.
But anyway, tell Steve and everybody thanks for setting this up.
Yeah, it's a good team here. We have great employees, and just everybody really cares about the customer. Right, that's our first goal, is to care about your customer. That's so cool.
Well, you guys definitely do that, but I appreciate you getting on here, and people want to hear about leisure travel vans, so I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
The next big thing that comes up, I'll email you again and see if we can do it again.
Let's do it again. I like it. It's fun. Take care.
All right, Dean. Thanks a million.
Thank you.